Chandu The Magician. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The makers of White King Granulated Soap present for your enjoyment tonight and every weekday evening at this time, Chandu The Magician. Listen, and you will travel to strange lands. You will thrill to high adventure, romance, mystery. The magic of Cairo and Baghdad in the East with their strange secrets and mysterious ways will hold you spellbound as our story unfolds. You will come to love this drama as it is played against a backdrop of oriental color and intrigue. And just as you will like our story, so will you like the soap we make. White King Granulated Soap. It is so easy on hands that thousands and thousands of ladies say it's just like magic. There are many tales told on the radio, but only one, Chandu. There are many soaps on your grocer's counters, but none like White King. You will love White King Granulated Soap. And when you buy White King tomorrow, save the box top and tell your friends to save White King box tops too. Now, let the play begin. In Cairo, ROXOR returns to his rooms jubilant over having used his newly perfected gas to kill Frank Chandler and Princess Naji in the hidden room in the pyramid. Then, almost at once, two of ROXOR's Arabs bring in Bob Reagent. But as ROXOR attempts to question Bob, Chandler suddenly appears and vanishes, taking Bob with him. Now, a few moments later, Chandler and Bob have come into the drawing room of Naji's house. It is long after midnight. Chandu, the magician.
I don't get this. I thought we were going to the hotel.
After what happened tonight, we decided to come back here. You'll have the room you had when we first came here to stay.
Oh. Well, for Pete's sake, why aren't you and Betty more excited? You act like nothing had happened at all. Here I've been dragged all over town, and ROXOR told me Uncle Frank was dead.
A slight exaggeration.
Where's Naji? Is she okay, too?
Of course she is. She'll be down pretty soon, and you'll see.
But I don't...
Want me to tell you why we weren't all wringing our hands when you and Uncle Frank walked in?
I sure do. I feel like the prodigal son spelled backwards.
We saw you, that's why.
Huh?
In the Crystal, silly, at the hotel. Uncle Frank and Naji just come back from the pyramid. When you didn't come in with them, oh, you should have seen Uncle Frank.
I did see him. Thanks, chum.
Don't mention it.
I don't mean that, Bob.
Oh, I know what you mean, Bet. Look, Mom, you didn't think I'd done some dumb thing like going back up to the pyramid, did you?
Let's not talk about it anymore. It's late, and it's time for bed.
Oh, I'm not sleepy. How could I be? Gosh, I was just standing there looking up the road when boom, those two guys showed up and grabbed me.
We'll talk it over in the morning, dear.
Oh, let's not go to bed yet, Mother. We don't even know how Uncle Frank and Naji got out of that place under the pyramid.
ROXOR said he broke a tube of poison gas or something all over the floor.
He was so furious he didn't know what he was doing, Bob. There were two small tubes lying there among the chemical apparatus, and he picked up one and he smashed it on the floor just as he went out.
Holy Moses, you must have worked fast. Well, what happened?
Nothing.
Nothing?
A little cloud of white smoke came up, that was all.
See, Bob? He magicked it.
Not at all, Betty. ROXOR got the wrong tube.
But then, if the other one was full of poison gas, too, somebody else might happen on those rooms just as we did.
Or worse still, ROXOR might get his chance to use it and kill a whole bunch of people.
He won't. Nadia and I brought it away with us.
Oh, Frank, why? Where is it?
In a good, safe place, sealed up tight.
Jeepers, where?
What do you think Nadia's been doing all this time?
She told me she was going to change her dress.
Well, she didn't want to upset you, Dot. She's really gone down to the big room she calls the crypt, under the house, to put that tube away. And the formula, too. So, for the moment, that's that.
Well, I don't see what good it did to take the tube of that stuff. ROXOR can make more.
Not without the formula. It was in the room, too. He left it in the one place he thought nobody'd look.
The sarcophagus.
Exactly, Dot. Well, suppose we all...
But Frank, you can't keep that deadly thing. You just can't.
No, we can't do anything else. I certainly can't break it open.
But you could...
And think. We've got hold of one of ROXOR's most important weapons. Without the sample and the formula, it could take him years to perfect it again. And in the meantime...
This sounds kind of crude, but if ROXOR has a gas that would kill a whole city, well, why would he waste it on just you and Najee?
When he gets into one of his rages, Bob, he doesn't think. That's the only explanation I know.
You're just being modest. I'd bet he'd think it was worth it to get rid of you.
Oh, Betty, you can think more gruesome thoughts than any child I ever saw.
Well, don't you think he would? I mean...
I know what you mean, and it's time for bed. You too, Bob. You'll be sleepy enough in the morning when it's time to get up.
No, none of you need to get up early. I'll be gone long before
Gone?
you...
Out of Cairo?
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't I tell you, Dot? I have to go away for a day or so on business.
Oh. I know you don't like to have me keep asking you, but are you going somewhere you think Robert might be?
I wish I could tell you I was.
Well, who on earth could that be at this time of night?
I'd better go and see. Servants are surely all in bed.
But Nadja keeps a man at the gate all night.
I'll be back in a moment. Who is it?
I must speak to him. They call Chandu.
Who is it?
I am Abdallah, the Bedouin.
Oh, it is you, Chandu. When they told me at the hotel you had gone,
Just a minute.
I have much to say to you. I beg you, let me come in. I have no weapon.
Then how did you get past the man at the gate?
When I said I must speak to you, he waited only to take my knife before...
All right. The princess will deal with him. Come in.
When you have heard what I have come to say, Chandu, you will not regret it.
That will depend on what it is.
Who was it, Frank?
Abdallah!
What's he doing here?
Why did you let him in?
He says he has something to tell me.
Betty, you and Bob had better go upstairs.
Why? I'd sure like to hear
Mother, you don't think I'm afraid of him, do you?
Well, just the same, I'd rather you went upstairs.
Sister of Chandu, I am under the roof of the princess.
What of it?
Well, he means, Bob, that it's a disgrace for an Arab to harm anyone in the house where he's a guest. But run along, you and Betty.
Okay.
Well, all right. I don't see why we have to be sent to bed like children.
All right, Abdallah. Let's have it.
Chandu, hear me. I have come to help you. All my men are at your word.
Did ROXOR think I'd believe you because you came here in the middle of the night?
I do not come from ROXOR. I am in his service no longer.
You don't believe that, Frank?
Not for a minute. So if that's all, Abdallah,
I
we'll...
speak the truth. Chandu, hear my words. I beg you.
Well,
In my land, I am a prince. For many centuries, my fathers have been rulers of men. Caravans bearing treasures of ivory and rubies and perfume have filled our chests with gold. No man has called himself our master.
ROXOR tried offering me a bribe tonight. I'm not interested.
I speak for myself, not for ROXOR. All this treasure is yours, Chandu. All my men, skilled in fighting, all my racing camels, my swift horses, the finest in the world.
I'm not recruiting an army, Abdallah.
Oh, send him away, Frank.
No, Chandu. Offer me a test to prove I do not lie. Ask me what you will.
I'll ask you a question. What about my husband's ring you wore that day in the bazaar? Where did you get it?
Sister of Chandu, ROXOR took it from the finger of Robert Reagent.
Well, you're getting down to business at last.
Abdallah, when was this?
9 years.
It must have been on the ship.
No, but it was not long after the ship sank into the sea.
Then ROXOR was aboard the Athenia, Dot.
But he wasn't in that picture, in the lifeboat.
ROXOR did not sail on the great ship Chandu. He was to go to America with the Effendi Regent, but how do you say it? ROXOR became angry.
You mean they quarreled?
It must have been over that scientific discovery of Robert's.
Sister of Chandu, the Effendi Regent did not know ROXOR had stolen papers from him while he slept.
That can't be true, Frank.
I think it is, Dot. ROXOR took a lot of Robert's papers before the ship sailed. And then he found out the only one he really wanted wasn't among them.
I was, Chandu.
So he sent you to get them. You were on the ship. I remember now. Dot, where's that picture of the men on the lifeboat?
Up in my room. Shall I get it?
There is no need, Chandu. It is so. I was in the boat, in the dress of your country. I had no time to steal the papers from the Effendi Regent before the great ship was sunk. Oh, the curse of the prophet be upon
Abdallah, you pulled Robert Regent out of the water. Where did you take him?
By the mercy of Allah, I saved his life. I knew ROXOR would kill me if I came to him with my hands empty.
Well, this sounds like the truth, Dot. He couldn't save the papers he was after, so he thought
Where
that...
did you take my husband, Abdallah?
A very long way, Sister of Chandu. It was to Algiers, where ROXOR was.
You left him with that maniac?
It is so. He knew not where he was.
You mean he was ill? He didn't look ill in the picture. Tell me.
Steady, Dot. All this was 9 years ago.
Oh,
Where is he, Abdallah?
I have not seen him since that day, Chandu. Now, you will believe I have finished with ROXOR and wish to join you.
Why?
Because of Miss Betty Lou.
What do you mean?
She is so gentle, so beautiful, like a white flower.
Is this the way you speak to her?
I am a Bedouin prince. In the black tents of my people, she will be a princess.
Miss Regent is not for you. If you served me 1,000 years, she could never be.
Oh, don't even discuss it, Frank.
Women do not understand these things, Chandu. Men should decide them, is it not so?
My sister's answer and mine are the same, Abdallah. No.
Bismillah. But time may change your answer if Allah wills.
No.
So be it. But I will still serve you, Chandu. Do you doubt me now?
Well, I'll make you a bargain, Abdallah.
On the word of a Bedouin, I will keep it.
Suppose I said to you, you may join me if you'll find out for me where ROXOR's headquarters is.
That no man knows.
Some of his agents must know. Well, what do you say?
I can only say I will do what I can. You will learn I am to be trusted.
If you find out where this place is, send me a letter addressed to Shepherd's Hotel.
And I am to see Miss Betty Lou before I go?
No, Abdallah. She's not to know anything about this.
You'll have to understand that, Abdallah. It's final.
Bismillah. Sister of Chandu, may your days be filled with happiness.
Goodbye, Abdallah.
Abdallah, fi aman illah.
Allah. You will not see me until I have won your trust. Peace be with you.
The summons. I should get this message before he goes. Wait, Abdallah, wait. We can't be out of the house already. Abdallah!
We pause before we say good evening to suggest that you and your family listen to Chandu every weekday evening at this time. Travel with us to strange places and faraway lands, and thrill with Dorothy Reagent and her children, Betty and Bob, as they're plunged into the mystery and intrigue of Egypt and the Near East. And, of course, we'd like to have you use the soap we make, White King Granulated Soap. You'll love White King. Anything that can be washed, and I mean anything, may be washed with White King, with safety to fabrics, safety for colors, kindness to your lovely hands, the only hands you'll ever have. So on your radio, remember Chandu the Magician every weekday evening at this time. And at your grocer's, remember White King Granulated Soap. No other soap is like it. You'll say no other soap has ever done your work so well. Good night. Chandu the Magician is presented for your enjoyment every weekday evening. Frank Chandler is played by Tom Collins. The makers of White King invite you to listen tomorrow at this time when the story resumes. Chandu the Magician. This is the Mutual Don Lee Broadcasting System.
Chandu the Magician. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The makers of White King Granulated Soap present for your enjoyment Chandu the Magician. Before our play begins, we would like to take a moment, and I mean just a brief moment, to say something that will help those who have clothes to wash. Our suggestion is that you use White King Granulated Soap. Put White King in your washing machine. If your husband happens to do heavy, dirty work, if his overalls and jumpers and work shirts have made you work and washing trouble, you'll not only like what White King does, you'll say, I love that soap. And your hands, the hands you'd like to keep young and lovely. How kind White King will be to them. The only hands you'll ever have. And listen, save White King box tops. You're going to want them for something you're going to hear about on this program. Well, the moment is up. Now on with Chandu the Magician.
Frank Chandler, known in the Far East as Chandu the Magician, is visited at Naji's home by Abdallah, the young Bedouin chief, an agent of the malignant ROXOR. Abdallah has come to offer his services to Chandler instead. To prove his good faith, he relates the circumstances under which Robert Reagent fell into ROXOR's hands 9 years ago. As a further test, Chandler sends Abdallah on a mission. But just as he leaves, the psychic summons is heard. Chandu the Magician. Abdallah, wait!
I'll get him for you, Uncle Frank. He can't be very far away.
Well, the crystal. I'll put it here on the table.
You want me to go away, Frank?
No doubt. Look into it with me if you like. I hope Bob brings Abdallah back. This summons must have something to do with him.
Look, it's the yogi. But that's not the houseboat where we saw him before.
He's not in India now.
It's a huge white room, still and cool.
I am listening, my teacher.
Chandu, my son, go with him thou hast sent away. Much will be revealed to thee.
But you can't, Frank.
If he says so, I must. I am ready, my teacher.
It is a time of testing. Guard thy secrets well.
I will, as you have taught me.
In fear is the greatest peril. Fear not, my son. Await the call. Await the call.
Is that all? The crystal's dark. Why should he ask you to follow Abdallah?
Well, there's a reason, or I wouldn't have received the message.
But Bob went out to bring him back.
Bob, what was it about? What's the matter, Uncle Frank?
You and Bob were supposed to have gone to bed.
I know, Mother, but you know how it is. You can't just fall asleep after all the things that have been happening around here. We were talking in Bob's room.
Was the door closed?
Oh, I don't know, Mother. Why?
I just wondered if you heard what we were saying down here.
Why, no. I came out to go to my room, and we heard Uncle Frank calling Abdallah, and... Oh, there's Bob.
Did you find him, Bob?
Boy, he sure can disappear in a hurry, just like that day in the bazaar. By the time I got to the gate, he was out of sight. I went up the corner, but I couldn't see him. The street's pitch black.
I might have known it.
What did he want, anyway, crashing in here like that?
It's a secret. They don't want us to know.
Frank, how can you find him? You have no idea which way he went.
Well, I know these streets pretty well, Dot. But I can't tell when I'll be back.
Be careful. I don't trust Abdallah any more than I would ROXOR.
Oh, come now. You're not thinking straight. If he tells me where ROXOR's headquarters is, you'll know what that'll mean. And if not, I have nothing to lose.
Except your life.
Nonsense. I'll be all right. Now, don't sit up worrying about me. Well, I'll have to hurry or I'll never find Abdallah. Abdallah, is that you?
Chandu,
Why are you hiding in the doorway?
I am waiting to begin the search on which you sent me.
You seem to know just where to begin.
My only hope is to begin at the place I know, the rooms of ROXOR.
Is this where they are?
Yes. When he is in Cairo, he stays here. I hope to find ROXOR away and perhaps a man loose-tongued with wine. Whatever he knows, I will learn.
You said ROXOR never told any of his men where his hiding place is.
So, you still do not believe I speak the truth? You think the word of a Bedouin chief is worth so little you must follow me through these streets?
I came here because I was sent. Let that be enough.
Sent?
Yes. And I'm going with you.
Chandu, you told
My
me.
plans have changed. Well, let's go. Which way is it?
Not far from here. You think it is safe for us to walk together?
If ROXOR's there, he'll soon enough know that we're together. Of course, if you don't want that.
Bismillah. Come this way. We go first through a shop. At the back is a doorway, and beyond the doorway, stairs. What comes after is in the hand of Allah.
Does ROXOR have men posted to watch the stairs?
No, Chandu. Strangers in the shop would ask questions. Here it is.
Oh, brass workers.
Aywa.
Now, wait a minute. It's so dark I can't see a thing.
I will go first between the tables. They are filled with brass works for Hassan to sell to Ferengi.
Hassan?
The man who locked you in Ben Ali's shop in Alexandria. This is his shop now.
He killed Ben Ali.
It was at ROXOR's order. ROXOR had planned that Ben Ali should die many months ago. He was... Muhammad! What have I done?
We're in for it now.
Come away, Chandu. It is...
Stand still. ROXOR's men will run right past us in the dark. Oh, not a sound out of them.
Perhaps they think to trap us at the top of the stairs.
Well, what do you say? Still want to go up there?
The men will open the door to me. But you, Chandu, why do you wish to find a knife in your heart?
I told you, I must go with you. Come on.
We are here. The door is not locked. Wait, Chandu. Come inside, Chandu. I have lighted a candle. They are gone.
What? All of them?
Not one is here. ROXOR has gone from Cairo. Nothing of his has been left behind. You see? Not the great books. Not the glass in strange shapes, such as the alchemists use to work spells.
What about the men who work for him here? He surely doesn't take them with him.
Each one has gone away to do his work for ROXOR. Mashallah, who can tell how long it will be before I find even one of them?
Oh, patience, Abdullah. You'll find a way to trace them if you really put your mind to it. What have you done before while ROXOR's away?
If he has no work for me, I go into the desert to my people. It must be so now. ROXOR sent me no word.
You, don't think he suspects you wanted to work with me?
Hasha, Allah forbid.
Well, since we're here, let's look around. ROXOR may have overlooked something I'd find useful.
ROXOR makes no mistakes, Chandu.
I'll have a look anyway. I'm pretty lucky. Let's try ROXOR's own room.
How could you know which it is?
Oh, I have ways.
Mashallah. It is true you are a sorcerer.
Now bring that candle, will you? Oh, never mind, here's one. Oh, you're right. He certainly took all his things away.
ROXOR leaves nothing undone, Chandu.
Well, I'll say this for him. He does a fine job of indoctrination on his men. What a dictator.
I think I do not understand.
Now, let it go. Oh, here's something.
Huh?
Just bits of paper, but...
It can be nothing. You see, there is no writing.
Yes, I see that. But this wouldn't be the first time ROXOR's habit of tearing paper to bits has been useful to me.
What can paper tell you if there is nothing written?
Well, for one thing, why tear it up? You hold the candle over here, Abdullah.
Still, I see nothing.
Abdullah, is there water here somewhere? Set the candle down and see.
In the cooking room. I will bring it.
And a flat bowl if there is one. A dish, anything.
Here. We brought folk from the shop below.
Ah, that's fine.
You will make use of your magic to learn what the paper has hidden?
Well, not exactly. You'll see in a moment.
I have heard that in one moment you can cause snakes to appear and wind themselves about the feet of a man.
Oh, you heard about that, did you?
It is so.
Let's see. Well, plain water doesn't bring out anything on the paper. If there is anything.
There is nothing. ROXOR would not... What is that you do?
This? I'll just drop 3 drops of the liquid from this small bottle into the bowl of water and stir it with my pencil.
It's a strange green color.
There is something written on it with some kind of invisible ink that fades out almost at once.
How, Chandu?
Well, the paper was blank when we found it, and it'll be blank again. Wait a minute.
What is it, Chandu?
This time ROXOR's overlooked something. He talks about sending the word, does he? No wonder.
What does he say?
Nothing complete. New York. The new high explosive has been... And the paper's torn there. This one says Paris. Several fires have been set with the new... And that's all. Do you know anything about this, Abdullah?
I know ROXOR himself has, how do you say, invented something.
So do I. Well, I'll drop in one more of these scraps. Now, there it is. It says... Wait a minute. Abdullah. Where does that door lead?
It's only a small room, not used.
There's somebody in there. All right, come out. Who is he, Abdullah?
I do not know him. Ragi Elias
Curse of the prophet be upon you.
Anen, Ipta, I know.
Sure you don't know him, Abdullah?
He is only a thief.
Are you hurt?
No, but he will escape us.
Grab him, Abdullah.
A slippery character if I ever saw one. Sure he didn't get you with that knife?
No, he did not. But he has torn your clothing.
It's nothing. It was just a... Wait.
What is it, Chandu?
The emerald casket. It's gone.
Before our program started this evening, we told you how wonderfully easy White King made the washing of heavy clothes like overalls and work shirts in your washing machine. I wonder if that might have given you the idea White King was only for the heavy washing you have to do. Why, of course, that isn't so. Say, your finest tablecloths and napkins, your daintiest lingerie, the fragile and lovely things you have to wash, White King Granulated takes care of them safely, gently, and we think as no other soap has ever done. There are reasons, of course, but aren't you kind of tired of hearing reasons all day long? Millions and millions and millions of packages of White King are sold. Each means that some lady has found this soap the one that helps her most. Listen, we say you'll like it. No, we'll say more than that. You'll love White King. Until tomorrow night, when perhaps you have tried White King, good night. Chandu the Magician is based on the original radio drama created by Harry A. Earnshaw and is written by Vera Oldham. The makers of White King invite you to listen tomorrow at this time when the story resumes. Chandu the Magician. This is the Mutual Don Lee Broadcasting System.
Would you like a shout out? Leave a comment in the section below. Tell me who you want to shout out to, who you want to shout out from, and we'll get it up here for you. Hey, we want to say thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe so you don't miss any. You got a lot more of these up there. Go check them out under the playlist. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you want to see, what you think, and we'll see you next time.